Okay, I think that we are online now. Hello, YouTube. Hello, guys who are here with me. Hello, people who follow us on YouTube. We are here for start a new immersion in English with me as a facilitator. So we are going to start a little bit explaining a little bit of how Talk and Talk works. So Talk and Talk is in a platform of languages where you can practice and you can learn different languages such as Spanish, English, Italian, French, Mandarin, and German. Something I really like about this platform is that we try to create a safe environment where we don't feel afraid about making mistakes. We understand that making mistakes it's totally normal, even more when you are trying to learn a new language. So we don't correct each other here. We respect each other. An important disclaimer about Talk and Talk about this immersion is it's that I am not an English teacher. I am far away of being an English teacher. I'm just here as a role as a facilitator, just for guiding and leading our immersion. Okay, so normally we start with a self-presentation to for warming up. And in my personal opinion, it's so important before we start talking in a different language to tell our brain that we are switching to a different language, you know? So let's start with our self-presentation. And today I'm going to start with you, Paula, because it's your first immersion with me. So go ahead, please, and introduce yourself to us.
And good afternoon, people. My name is Paula. I has 43 years old. I'm living in Itu, a little city near São Paulo. I'm a programming student. I am a pet mother, 2 cats and 2 dogs. And it's my 30th week in Talk and Talk.
Happy to have you here, Paula. Welcome to my Friday's immersion. Uh, what about you, Marcio? Go ahead, please introduce yourself to us.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, YouTube. I am 40 years old. I am countryside of some Brazil, but I live countryside of São Paulo. Sorry, I'm countryside of São Paulo, and I'm a musician. I play bass since my childhood. I have a good teach. My dad taught me a lot about the string instruments. I love this string instrument. And I am logistic professional, more specifically warehouse. And I'm studying enterprise resource plan, ERP, SAP, EWM models, because they are really interesting in my view. And I'm married, I have a children, I have a dog. In my free time, I really like to sleep well. And I love coffee without sugar because sugar really dangerous because how can I say, my grandmother fight me about the sugar. Yeah, I agree with him. And that's it about me. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Marcio, and thank you so much for being here, for joining us today. Sydney, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sydney. I live in Belo Horizonte. I'm 39 years old. I'm married. I am an accountant. I work as an accountant for 20 years. I'm very happy today, firstly, because I'm here with you to improve my English. It's a great opportunity, first of all. And secondly, because my favorite football team, Atlético Mineiro, beat São Paulo yesterday in their Brazil's Cup. And I don't know if someone who live in São Paulo is São Paulino, but I'm sorry about that. And yeah, in my free time, I like to read books, articles in English, watch movies, TV series, and things like that. Thank you very much, people.
Thank you, Cindy, for being here. I think that football is always a good opportunity to have fun, for have fun and spending some time as well, you know. So, Diogo, please introduce yourself to us.
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Diogo Naga. I'm 41 years old. I'm from São Paulo. I'm living in São Paulo. I'm married. I have two boys. I work at Insurance Market, now in a IJ Insurance Company. I'm here talking since June this year. And I'm here because I need to improve my English skills, principally to talk it, And that is, I don't have pets. I like, but I don't have time for take care. Uh, that's it.
Thank you, Diogo. Finally, me. Hello, guys. My name is Cristian Jimenez. I am from Bolivia. However, I currently live here in Curitiba, Paraná, Brazil. I moved here 2 years ago because of my job, and I have been here in Talk and Talk for since 2022. I became host 2 months ago, so I currently lead immersion in Spanish and English. So if you want to learn or practice Spanish with me, I lead Spanish immersion as well on Sundays. I'm 36. I'm married. I don't have childs. I don't have pets neither because the apartment is so small here. I love pets, but maybe in the future I will have a cat or a dog. And that's it, guys. So let's go into our today's immersion. As I already said, I love to talk about, and it's really I'm so interested about your experience as well. Why you decided to learn English or to start this long journey of learning a new language, in this case, English. Okay, so the question number one goes like this: what motivated you to start learning English, and how has the reason evolved over time? So I'm gonna start with you, Marcio. What motivated you, or what was the principal or the main reason of why you started learning English?
Okay, so today, because the culture, you know, so in my case, I like when I watch about the country, United States, and because I'm musician, I love play um, American jazz and American blues today. For me, about the politics in United States, I like when I watch it. So before, um, my my motivated because I left the good opportunity because do I didn't understand about the English. Unfortunately, I know in the past, I don't know, but I know the process about my area, and so I didn't know about the English because this I left this good opportunity. It's okay today for me, no problem. But before, really, really boring for me. I don't know why, but it's okay today, and because the cultures, you know, and because the go on about the and studying other language for me today really necessary. Yeah, because
Perfect.
there is my motivate every day. So in my case, I've never studied English before talk. I
Mhm.
never studied in another website, for example, and notebook, for example, and read books, for example, in English before on talk. Today, on talk helped me a lot about the speaking and talking. I love this word, you know, because
Mhm.
this, yeah, I'm motivated because they different culture. Pay attention, different
Got
culture.
it.
Yeah.
Got it. So you can say that the only resource that you use for learning your current English level is because of Talk and Talk, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's
That's
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Marcio. What about you, Sydney? What motivated you to start learning English?
Yeah, for me, I always have a passion in that language, but I started to learn it when I was a teenager because those days I played a lot some RPG video games like Legend of Zelda and the Final Fantasy, and I need to use English to translate some conversation. And then after that, when I became adult, in my 90, 19 years, I I went to a traditional school called Louisiana Lana, and I studied there for 2 years. But after this, I felt a little frustrated. To be honest, very frustrated because I wasn't able to speak and even understand anyone because that traditional school they only teach you about grammar. Even our my teachers they only speak Portuguese. They didn't speak in English, so it was so crazy. We go to a English school to speak Portuguese. So then I started to work in a company far away from my home, 2 hours to go and 2 hours to come back. And I stayed there for some years and I didn't have time to continue my studies. But then after some years, 5 years ago, I start again to study English. And I'm here with you guys here.
Thank you so much, Sydney. I'm curious. Have you ever loved? Have you ever? Did you always love it? Learning English? Maybe something that do you always love it?
Yes, I always loved to learn English, and I think, to be honest with you, I think I love to learn languages. I'm organizing to start to learn Spanish the next year.
Mm,
Yeah, and
mm.
sometime in the future learn another language. So for me, it's a thing that make my brain works, and I think yeah, it's one of the things that give me a lot of pressure to do.
Thank you so much, Sydney. I asked you that because for me, in my personal case, I never liked it learning English. I don't know how I did it, but I'm here leading the conversation in English, and that's it. And what about you, Paula? Let us know what motivated you to learn English.
Oh, when I start to study technology, I see that I need it, and I it when I was a teenager, and I asked to my father, I studied in Wizard in like Sydney. Oh, teacher speaks in Portuguese, and in Wizard don't learn grammatical. So when I try a test and TOEFL, I I don't pass because my grammatical is terrible. It's terrible. Conversation. The school asked me to out because they don't have a class of conversation because I was a teenager and the conversation was to adults and they I can participate the classes because different years. And now I don't want to study English. I wanted to study Italian and French because to me English is what now I understand is important because sometimes I forgot to put the legends and
Hmm.
I watched the movie. Okay, but I can't speak. So my husband uh, send me a talk and talk because I need the conversation.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Paula. Yeah, I think that it's good to know that you as well struggled with English like me, and you didn't love it from where you started, you know. So yeah, it's good to know that. I call it my toxic relationship with English. Go ahead, Diogo. Tell us about your what motivated you to start learning English.
Oh, it's a long history. Since I was child, my parents, because I wanted to, uh, uh, put me at normal school for English children, you know. But in the determined moment, my parents don't have more money to pay the course. And I remember then I was almost 20 years, 22 years. I come back to to study, but because I don't have money too, I need to stop it. Since 2019, in my another company, I get the benefits to course English paid by my company, and I start a private teacher. But the principal motivate for me is now in this moment is to get a better opportunity at my company or another company, and maybe one day I study to cybersecurity to change my my job for the possibility to work at home all days. You know, uh, when I know the Felipe Soares in LinkedIn, he is fighting with a hater, and I follow your profile, I follow your talk. In my actual company, I get it again a new opportunity to my company pay my course. And now I schedule an interview with Felipe. I like it, os points, de estrutura, de everything that Felipe said me, and I start here. But I want I don't like English, you know. I have in my life, I have difficulty in my life to learning, principally to listen English people or British them. It's crazy for me. But now almost appear more easier. I'm too dedicated. I study all days. I never, almost never get to do classroom all days at talk, but all night I study podcasts, read words, phrases. That is, I want a new job to gain more money, and quickly, maybe in the future, to change my my career for anything that's possible. I work at my home, another city, to change of the country someday. I don't know. That is.
Thank you so much, Diogo. So your experience was kind of similar like mine. So guys, my experience was kind of similar. I always struggled with English. I think that I have been I started learning English in 2016 in those kind of old-fashioned institutes. That the final of my course I wasn't able to speak any phrase in English. So in my personal opinion, I think that I started speaking in English when I joined here in Talk and Talk, and when I started applying for job positions in different countries, and the interviews were in English. I think that those experiences were that driven me to start improving my communication skill in English more and more. So let's move on to the question number two. I think that it's related with the question number one, but let's try to bring more insight, more ideas. So the question number two goes like this. Was there a specific moment or situation that made you realize the importance of learning English? I'm going to start with this question. Yes, when I wanted to change to find a new job, I realized that well, when I started my career, I realized that English was so important for me because I work as software developer. So even when I was already working in the field, I didn't want to learn English. But when I moved to when I wanted to move to another company, I realized that English was kind of mandatory in my field. So and all of the information in internet, everything is in English, in my field. So that was the time that I said, okay, I have to do it even when I don't want it. So I think that was the main reason why I started and the time that when I realized that I needed, when I wanted to move to find a new job in my field. Yogo, please give us your experience. What was the specific moment that you realized that English was important for you?
Oh, I don't know the specific time, but I always know that's the importance about to talk another English, another language, principally English. You know, but for me, stage more evidence when I lost two good opportunities for a new jobs, um, uh, high 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 levels than I'm to be today because I don't speak English. And this moment, that is this year, I resolved give me more one chance to talk in English, and my chance is here in this moment, in this talk. It's now the my last chance because it's serious. I'm tired to study and don't get into conduce or participate in meeting with my job, with my subjects of the my company in English. This year too, come here to Brazil, my global CEO, is a British old man. Imagine it. He talking. It's impossible to understand. And that is, I always know that importance of the English. But any factors about my life, my routine, my day to day, I went to how can I say uh, a moment, please. Uh, I mean, letting go for the future. And now, for me, the future is today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yogo. What about you, Paula? Do you remember a specific time when you say, okay, I must learn English now?
When I see the code the first time, I really, oh my God, it's Clipper, the language. I see, well, if I know English, I know this language. So I think I need to learn this. Even I don't like it, I need to learn. And the next step, when I realized that the news of technology in English is more actualized that here. Now it's okay, but in 20s, uh, it's a big delay to to learn.
Thank you, Paula. I'm curious, have you ever seen a code in Portuguese or in another language that was not English?
No.
Always in
Unfortunately,
English.
no, only in English.
Okay, thank you, Paula. What about you, Marcio? Let us know what if you remember one specific moment when you say that you had or you thought, okay, I have to learn English.
Yeah, so I have a lot of situation. For example, in my case, I have three French brother. I guess this word French brother. I have three French brother. My brothers, three brothers, speak English amazing, very well. You know, yeah. So, but in Portuguese too. Yeah. When I speak English with my brother, oh my goodness. But it's okay, Marcio. Your English is intermediate, I guess. Oh my God, thank you. You know, and I have a good specific moment situation with my French brother because I speak English, my brother speak Portuguese, for example, or I speak Portuguese, my brother speak English, and it's really funny, you know. Yeah, because I said the culture really good for me, and because I'm studying English, and here on Talking Talk.
Thank you so much, Marcio. What about you, Sydney? Let us know about your experiences.
Yeah, there was a specific moment in my life, a situation that impact a lot and helped me to understand the importance to study English. It happened 5 years ago. I was working in a company, and then for nothing, I received a message, a email, first a message in my smartphone that someone found my curriculum in some site, I don't know, and then we sent exchange some messages, and then that guy sent me an email about an offer to work in a company, an international company that they were building. They are opening a branch in Brazil, and they need people who are specialized in taxes in Brazil, and they offer me a position to be a accountant, coordinator. Yes, the salary was explained. It was amazing. About in those days was about 15,000 reais. So it was most the double I received in that current job. And but they need the people who had a good English, at least advanced English. And in those days, I don't know, maybe my English was basic, and it impacted me a lot, and to start to study it again. And yeah, I'm here, and I think in the next year I'm going to looking for an opportunity in some company and go after my dream to work in an international company.
Congratulations, Sydney. I think that having the opportunity to earn in dollars or euros is one of the principal motivation of being here, right? Improving our English skills. It's totally normal, guys. So don't be afraid to say that. So let's move on to the question number 5. So I'm gonna skip the three and the fourth because I found it for the fifth one so interesting to know about. So the fifth one go like this. Did someone in your life inspire or encourage you to learn English? How did they influence your decision? So I'm gonna start with this question. I think that one of in my family, my mother, she always wanted me to learn English. She always told me, Christian, you have to learn English because you will need it in your future. Even though although I wasn't starting my career before, she told me that I had to learn English. because I don't know, maybe she knew about my future, but I never listened to her. So it's something I always regret to not having started learning English before before I start my career, you know. And I think that my parents in general, she inspires me a lot nowadays for achieving my goals. Um, Let me see. On internet, I have a lot of people who I follow on Instagram, on YouTube, but I don't remember the name of them because they are a lot. But I know about some polyglots who I follow on Steve Graham. I think that's the name that the one guy who speak 20 languages fluently. So I think that that guy inspires me to stay motivated here in my English learning journey. And that's it, guys. What about you, Marcy? I'm gonna start with you. The question number 5.
All right. Yes, in my life, I have two person, people, two people. My wife and my daughter. My encourage every day because sometimes it's really hard, about the study in general. So my daughter, for example, fight me about the learning, about the study. Yeah, because my daughter loves read book, for example. Oh my, read books fast, I guess this word. Yeah, your opinion really different about me, for example. So because this encourage me about the study English, about the study my area, about the study music, for example. And so my wife encouraged me about the in general because this I love my family and me too. I encourage you, yeah, you're and then I guess so. Yeah, I have two people, my wife and my daughter.
Thank you so much, Marcy. I think our families are crucial in our when we want to achieve our goals, right? So thank you
Right.
so much, Marcio. What about you, Paula? What are those people who inspire you?
Uh, uh, Different to you, Christian. My parents, what I ask for study, I can do. So when I ask, I want to learn English, go. Now, a desire to receive in euro or dollar incentive. It's my bigger encouragement because it's difficult.
Thank you so much, Paula. What about you, Diogo? Who are those persons who inspire you to keep you motivated in this long journey?
Well, direct, uh, anybody. But my wife, obviously, uh, helped me and incentive to learn. I try to do make mind of my old son. Lucas has 15 years uh, because English is very important, and he has the opportunity to learn English since he was a little baby, But my son is crazy. He uh, don't understand the importance now because they think it's very easy. Their life is very easy. Oh, so good. But especially for me, my wife support me, and today, this week, she's crazy with me because I did the classroom at 9 o'clock. In this time, normally we are at the diner, She's crazy. In this time, you are talking. But it's a special person for me.
Thank you so much, Diogo. Finally, please, Sydney, tell us about your experience or about people who inspire you.
Yes, I remember my wife's cousin, he starts to learn English at the university, the public university in the Minas Gerais, and we start to chat with each other in English, and it motivates me a lot to start to come back to learn to study English. And when I start to learn it, I started to find some people with a different method to learn English, and then I found Mario Vergara. Yeah, he had a different method to first improve your listening a lot, like we did when we were baby, we are younger, and then after some months or a year doing it, we had a in his method we will have enough vocabulary to start to speak. And I followed his method for some years, and then I found his mentor. I think his master mentor or tutor mentor. He's a polyglot called Lucas Lampariello. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, and I followed him as well, and some videos of him. So that's one of the people who motivate me, encourage me to start to learn English.
Lucas Lampariello, he is Italian, isn't he? Yeah, the Italian. It's an Italian guy. Yeah, I follow him as well on YouTube. So guys, let's move to the question number 9. I consider that the other questions are related with those that we already answered. So I want to know from you guys. The question number 9 goes like this: How has learning English changed the way that you view the world and how you approach global issues? Uh, specifically about the first part of the question, maybe is the main point of this question. How has learning English changed the way you view the world? I think that all of you have something to share with us. So I'm gonna start with you, Marcio. How do you think that learning English has changed the way that you view the world nowadays?
So because there's opportunity, yeah, and because there's how can I say, or in my case, in my view today, learning another language is really important, you know, really important for me, really necessary in any situation, for example. And so I like watch in different culture in English. Yeah. So if influence about the uh, practice another language, for example, and not is free and not is easy, but it's a process. I like this word in general, and technology help us a lot because this, yeah. So influence in various several situations.
Thank you, Marcio. What about you, Paula? How the way that you view the world has changed because of your English learning?
Oh, to me was more easier to see the word because now I can listen podcasts in English. I can learn my Italian with English teacher to English teacher, and I love here. I love this series. It's the BBC channel. So don't arrive on Brazil last year's. Now is on Disney, but I needed to see in BBC News, BBC TV in internet. So I needed to learn. And now I see the news too in English, so it's an improvement to my knowledge.
Thank you so much, Paula. In my case, when I think that it changes totally the way that I saw learning English and the word as well. When I started really understanding people, native people, or other kind of resources like podcasts, music, because you know the first time is the more boring or the more frustrating part that is learning grammar, learning vocabulary, simple past, all of that things. But when I started really learning or understanding people and try to communicate with them, I think that I'm not sure. I think the feeling was kind of I was discovering a new Christian, and I felt so powerful. I don't know why, but I felt like I was able to do whatever I wanted. I'm not sure if that's happening with you guys, but now that I can speak English and Portuguese, for me, I really feel proud of me because I know the old Christian, and I think that the old Christian is so proud of the new one that is here with you. So, what about you, Sydney?
Well, about me, that question, I have been using some apps to meet different people from different countries, especially countries from Middle East and Central Asia. And what the people who live there are reporting to me is almost the same problems like in Brazil we are facing, economic, environment, uh, I think social problems. And what I realized is, but they are facing, I think, that same problem but in a severe level, in a higher level. But I realized that we live in Brazil, and Brazil is not so bad. It's not a so bad country to live. Of course, we have a lot of problems, and we need to do, we must do everything to change it. I think to turn Brazil a better country to live. But there are so many countries that the thing is more difficult. For example, the dollar. The dollar in Brazil, $1 equal R$ 5. But in some countries, it equal, I don't know, 30, for example, in Turkey, 30 liras, maybe something like that. So it's most difficult for them to buy something, to export something for there. And yes, the cost of live is very high. So that kind of things that make me feel about it. And the opportunities in Brazil, we can find some job depending on where you live. But yeah, Brazil is not so a bad country to live. I really like it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Brazil is a beautiful place for living. You know, the only problem is that you don't earn in dollars, but you can fix it finding a job opportunity, remote job opportunity. I have a lot of friends who work here in Brazil, but they earn in dollars. Thank you so much, Sydney. What about you, Diogo? The question number 9.
Oh, for me, change it all because it's important to connect with a universal language. You know, okay, you can travel to Japan, for example. I someday I would like to know Tokyo. Uh, Speak Japanese for me, it's impossible, but English maybe. Uh, I think Sidney said I this weekend I did download in my cell phone one app is called Speak Paul. Do you know Speak Paul? It's very crazy app because it was my first time in this app, and my first conversation, it was a person in Afghanistan. Do you know? It's very, very crazy. Imagine to talk with people in Afghanistan. And my second time in this app, I talked with a person in Bangladesh. It's a young boy, and the principal cruises her. It's about football. If I like it, Neymar, for example, I said I don't know. If I know the Cristiano Ronaldo, it's funny. And in this moment in my car, during I was driving to my job, I think about English is very nice because we can to talk another peoples around the world. It's some people is more difficult for me listen and understand the words because the culture or I don't know sotaque if each country, but I like it and I stayed very happy because I know only alone in my car to to communicate with another people and understand not even all the words or phrase because sometimes the connection it's not so good too but I stay very happy and I stay always think about this this is because my company my job I saw my colleagues or my boss for example to talk in a meeting with business personals, American person. We can a global head in Shanghai. It's a business living in Shanghai. It's impossible to understand talk it in webinars, teams, but sometimes we send emails before necessary approves or authorities for semi-business. And one day he said it for me, "Oh, sometime one day I will go to Brazil, and uh, leave me a famous bar in São Paulo." Well, what famous bar? You are in Shanghai. Do you know bar
Mhm.
in 8 São Paulo? Yes, I know. This bar called in Santana, North Zone, here in São Paulo. BDL, Bar do Luiz Fernandes, is a famous bar. Do you know? I know this bar. It's very, very good. But imagine the person living in Shanghai talking about with a bar with me in São Paulo. I crazy. That is many things we can to do, we can to think when we getting to communicate, to talk in English.
Mhm. Mhm.
We are taking mistakes. Yes. Now I don't have more problem with this. Let's
Mhm.
go ahead. The important is to communicate.
To practice. Yeah, that's it. That's
Yes.
it. Thank you so much, Diogo. And unfortunately, we don't have any more time for answering or for continuing with our today's question. So, but before finishing our immersion, I would like to know from firstly from you, Paula, that is your first immersion with me. How was the immersion for you? How did you find it? Did you like it, the question? You didn't? Please let us know.
No, so good. Uh, I like it because I can understand all everybody says. So this demonster my ear is improving. I love it.
Something good about this immersion that I found as well is it's that we know that there's a lot of people who are struggling with the same problems that we are right now or we were before. Because when you see a person who is speaking fluently, and you say, "Oh, that person is so fluent, he's so good, I am not good enough." But when you really realize that that person as well is struggling with, at the same time with you or with the same problems, you get more encouraged to continue your English journey. You know? Yeah, it's a good it's good to know that. Marcio, please let me know how do you find this subject? Did you like the question? You like the immersion? Please let me know.
Yes, I did. I agree with Paula. It's amazing these immersions, to practice English for me really necessary, really important. And thank you about the questions.
Thank you, Marcio, for being here. Sydney, please let me know your insight. How do you find this immersion?
It's very interesting to hear all the people, all the experience, the people experience, and like me, everyone are struggling in the same time, improving your English, that ability, and it is far away the most difficult thing I've learned, I've doing in my adult life, but I'm still here day by day, try to overcome my difficulties, my problems, and yeah, enjoy it, enjoy the process.
Enjoy the
It's very
process.
important.
Yeah, it's the most important part. Enjoying the process. If you don't, you're done. You won't do it.
Yeah.
And finally, Diogo, in 30 seconds, how did you find this immersion?
It was good always. You are a good host, Christian. I like so much
Thank you
you.
so much.
The people, with my friends here today, it's very nice too.
Thank you so much. I struggle so much still being host here. I get nervous. It's a different feeling. Maybe you in the future will be host as well, but I am trying my best. Thank you so much, Diogo. So I just sent to you here in the chat box two links. So the first one is the survey. You can put there your comments. You can suggest different subjects that you want to talk about, and it's so useful for me to improve my performance as a host. It's useful for the platform in general to improve your experience in the platform in Talk and Talk. The second link, I think that all of you are already my contacts on LinkedIn. But if someone else that wants to share my LinkedIn or be my contact there, be free. Feel free to send me a contact request, and I will be happy to accept it. So that's it for today, guys. The next Friday we will be talking about how struggling can be doing interviews. I wanted to bring this topic because today I failed in an interview, but it was not because of my English. It was because a specific skill that I need to improve, and the opportunity was in Netherlands, in Europe. So I failed. So I feel a little bit sad, but I know that there will be more opportunities in the future. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here, and hope to see you in my next immersion. Have a great
Bye bye,
weekend.